So, I feel like everyone has that one friend who has a sister who is just way too hot for her own good. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever you hang out, you insist to go to your friend's house all because you want to see his sister. Like, we all have a friend like this. And I know you've tried at least once or maybe thought about busting a move on that sister. And well, today I'm going to be telling you about when I made my move and had sex with my friend's sister. So without further ado, let's get started. I remember it was a Friday night, and me and my friend, whose name was Eric, for the story's sake, planned on hanging out that day. And like always, I convinced him to hang out at his place rather than mine, for obvious reasons. Now I want to mention, his sister was just stupid fine. She was a ginger with blue eyes, and I think, as we all know, gingers, especially with blue eyes, are either 10 out of 10s or 1 out of 10s. There's like no in between, and she was single. So as far as I'm concerned, she was for the taking. And every time I'd come over, she'd kind of like sort of flirt. It was like walking like a thin line of flirting and just being extra nice, you know? And as far as I was concerned, that was enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like Kobe's on my shoulder just telling me, you miss every shot you don't take. So I'm gonna take it. And anyways, me and my buddy go grab some food, and actually another friend of ours came along too. And then we all just went to Eric's place after to hang out. We get to Eric's place and just start playing some video games, kind of talking about life and things like that, you know, things that you do with your friends. And then that friend that came with us, not Eric, but the other one, he had brought some weed in his new bong. So we're all taking a few rips of that bad boy, blowing it out the window, trying to hide the smell so Eric's mom doesn't get pissed. And then we played a little more video games, but then eventually I had to go drain the weasel. And this house had 2 bathrooms. One of them is upstairs and one of them is downstairs. And we were upstairs. My friend's sister, Sydney, that's the name we're gonna give her, was downstairs. So obviously, I go use the bathroom downstairs. And as I'm walking downstairs, I see her looking just fine as hell, just on the couch watching a movie. So naturally, I thought this was an easy time to try to strike up a little conversation. So I was just like, hey, what movie are you watching? She said something, I don't really remember what it was, probably because I was thinking of my plan on how to get with her. But I briefly chatted her up just a little bit before I went and took my piss. And while I was in the bathroom, I was just hyping myself up in my head. Just, you can do this. Now is no time to be a little bitch. And like I said, she was a ginger. And everyone knows, if the roof is rusted, the basement is flooded. So I was determined to see if that shit was true. So after I was done hyping myself up, I left the bathroom and real smooth sat down next to Sydney on the couch. Our legs weren't like touching or anything, but I was close enough, you know what I'm talking about? I chatted her up a little bit more, and she chatted back, and there was this little break in conversation though, and in that break, I looked at her, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she was still looking at me. So I'm thinking, it's game time, and I leaned in for it, and boom! I was in. She actually kissed me back, and thank goodness, because that shit would have been so unbelievably awkward if I kissed her and then she didn't kiss me back, and then I was like, what the fuck do I do now? But it didn't go like that. It worked out, and we made out for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then I pulled away, and I told her I should probably head back upstairs, because my friends probably were wondering what the hell was taking this piss so long. Because by this point, I've been down here for a little minute. You know, a piss should take 90 seconds tops. And I've been down here for well over that. So I told her I should probably go upstairs, and she agreed. I got back upstairs. I'm playing it cool. Nobody asked me any questions. And so we just continued playing video games until it got late. And the other friend, not Eric, but the other friend, finally left, and so now it's just me and my friend and his hot sister downstairs. And honestly, Eric's mom and dad, I don't even know where they were. They were like never around when I was over at Eric's place, and I have no idea why. But anyways, I had Eric's sister Sydney on Snapchat, but never really snapped her because I thought maybe it was a little awkward, but it's probably not awkward considering the story that I'm telling now. But anyways, before I left Eric's place, I actually texted Sydney. I was like, hey, you trying to maybe hang out tonight? And she texted me back. And she said, yeah, I do. So I'm like, yeah. I'm in. You know, I'm trying to hide my excitement from Eric because I'm just thinking about how I'm about to be teed up in his sister's bedroom. Just boom, boom, boom. But anyways, me and Cindy both knew that her brother was not gonna like if I was hanging out with her. So I told her when I left, I was gonna drive down the street, park my car, and walk back. And she could let me in through her window so nobody saw us. Because remember, her room was downstairs. And she agreed. So I told my buddy Eric I was heading out, and I go as followed. I drive down the street, quite a ways out of view, park my car, and in my glove compartment, I always kept a few jackets on deck, just in case. So I snatch me up one of them bad boys and start heading back to Sydney's house. I get to her window, nobody sees me, no dogs are barking, no cars drive by, we're good. And I knock on it lightly just a few times. She opens it up and lets me in. Now, I wasn't just gonna lay down and watch a movie with her. No. I put way too much into this plan. I've been trying to get with this chick for months now. Not even months, years. So I put way too much into this plan to just sit there and watch a movie. I'm not gonna walk away out of this room with that rubber still in my pocket. So I ask her to hand me the TV remote and I'll pick us out a movie. Also, I want to mention she did lock the bedroom door, and her bed was like up high enough with like the bed sheets draping low enough to where I could fit under it and be hid if somebody started knocking on the door. Anyways, I pick a scary movie because it works every time. They start cuddling up and shit, acting more scared than they really were. Trust me, it works. And just like I said, not 10 minutes into the movie, she starts cuddling up on me. And not long after that, I make my move. Her leg was kind of on top of my leg. I'm laying down, she's kind of on me on the side a little bit. So you just reach over, grab the thigh right there, and then really just boom, you take off, you start kissing, you're in, you're good. Bust out the rubber like J. Cole, real smooth, and I think you know what happens from there. I'm not gonna go into detail, but you can probably imagine it. And oh my goodness, it was good. No, not good. It was great. Let me tell you, the prophecy is true. If the roof is rusted, the basement is most definitely flooded. And so I finished that all up and I was about to leave out the window the way that I came. But I get a call. It was Eric. I didn't know what to do. I don't know why he was calling, so I just started panicking. I turn around and show Sydney, and she starts panicking a little bit too. I said, what should I do? She says, just ignore it, just get out of here. So I fucking dolphin dive out the window, bam, run back to my car, full sprint, get in that bitch, boom, take off. I don't text Eric that whole night. I just act like I wasn't there. But obviously, the next day I gotta go to school, and I see Eric. And he asked me why my Snap location said I was still at his house. He said he called me last night to see if I accidentally left my phone there. And, I just tell him the service must have been a little spotty on the way home, so it didn't really update my location. And he says, okay. Boom. I was in the clear. Laid some mean wood down on his sister, and he didn't know about it. And now, I want to say, this was not the last time me and Sydney crossed paths. And if you want a part 2, let me know down in the comments. But that's all I got for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I thought this one was a pretty good one to share. So if you guys want more videos like this, let me know. And till next time, deuces.